Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Recently, probably about a month ago, Google rolled out a new change for local businesses. They changed from 7 to 3. Well, I'll show you the blog here real quick. I didn't comment on this right away because I wanted to see what other people had to say about it. And I found a few articles, one a blog that I kind of like, so I was going to share it with you and let you take a look at this. The blog is from Mike Blumenthal. And this is the way it looks now, where you see 3 local businesses, whereas before you used to see 7 here. If you click on more plumbers, in this case, you will see, I think there's 20 on the next page after that. But this is a significant change because it limits the number of people, small businesses, that are going to be seen on the first page. It used to be that if you you were in a local area and you had a small business and you did a few things by getting in the local directory, so on and so forth, that you're probably going to get one of those 7 spots. Fairly easy to do on a small area. Well, now it's going to be a little more difficult, but now you have a few more organic spots that you can pick up on now too. So it's kind of a give and take thing. I don't know how it's all going to play out. I don't think that it's a bad thing. I think that shows that Google is really moving towards making sure that their search results are mobile friendly. You don't have to go very far and look very hard to see people on their phones standing in line wherever they're at, just being on their phone. Mobile is huge, and Google's committed to it very heavily. So this is more of a easier, streamlined package for people to get results from. Although local is important, but so is mobile. But I think at this point, mobile is actually taking a little bit of the precedence by them eliminating some of the local results. The other thing going on too, and I used to see this myself a lot, when you saw 7 results on a local business search, a lot of those results were irrelevant. I mean, maybe businesses that really weren't even very good or had poor appearances and so on and so forth. So most of the time people were just searching the top 3 anyway, so the rest of them didn't really have, not always, but in small places, or sometimes they didn't even have 7. So I could see that this is something that was inevitable or something that was probably going to take place. And I do think in the long run, it probably will be better and it will work out better. But it does hinder sometimes small business. For instance, like we work with a lot of attorneys. A lot of attorneys don't have the time or know how to get a first page result with Google. So they defer, they default to one of the companies like FindLaw or Advo or Lawyers.com or Justia. And all these companies do is promote their site and not the attorney site. So you're linked up to these guys and they're promoting themselves, but they never promote you. So you're just on their page. Their page shows up on the first page and you don't show up at all, maybe 10, 15 pages back. But maybe some of those guys we could have gotten on the first page through local. Now they're going to have to do some organic in order to get on the first page. If you read through this article or this blog also, he talks a little bit about maybe there is some ulterior motive for Google to do this because of pay-per-click, forcing small businesses that don't want to invest in being on the first page now to have to go to pay-per-click. I don't think that's the way it works, or I don't think that's what Google's interested in. Google's making money either way, if you're doing pay-per-click or if you're doing organic, because if you're doing organic, you're still using Google tools, you're still on Google Webmaster Tools and all the things that Google wants you to use, and you're eventually going to give Google some money anyway. So I don't think they're trying to force people into PPC. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I don't think Google has any ulterior motives as far as that's concerned. I just think that this is inevitable. There's going to be changes made. They will continue to be made as time goes on, and we're just going to have to keep up with it. That's what we do. We keep up with these changes and try to make sure that people can find a way to be in a place where people can find their site. And obviously that's the first page. Used to be Google local. Now we can shift more attention to the Google organic. But anyway, I think it's all good. And I think it's going to work out pretty well. I just wanted to bring that out to you because it is a major shift. And it is kind of interesting for somebody like me that's been doing it for a long time. And now to see 3 instead of 7, thinking, wow, we used to be able to get one of the 7 spots pretty easily. And now we got to focus on one of the 3 spots. But anyway, that just gives us a little bit more on the organic to work with. So that's all I wanted to say. That interesting article by Mr. Blumenthal. Check it out. I got it on my site, federalwebservices.com, if you want to read it. And there's a link there back to his site too. So I appreciate your time. Thanks for listening.